In this video, raised Parkside. Is that it? On. Oh yeah, water. That's better. I put everything together. Slate. Ooh. I'm now covered. I bought some more tools from Parkside. We'll unbox them and give them a bash. But also, I'm going to have a go at making something. It's a bit of a fun project that I'm sure you'll get. And I think it's got everything. Christmas related. It's made out of tools. And I think it'll be an amazing talking piece in a house. And that's if my wife lets me put it in there. I'm sure you'll understand where I got my inspiration from within about 3 seconds, maybe, of the segment. But we'll see. It's coming later in the video. We'll do the giveaway results and a new giveaway. So, fellow sheddies and tool lovers, to stop the waffle and get on with it. Hello, sheddies, and you join me again in my shed. It's the wet tile cutter from Parkside. Really interested to see how well this works. Obviously, we've got normal tire cutters that slide along a little blade, little round blade, and then you pinch it and break it. But this one, wet, which means you can go deeper, 34 millimeters, and we can cut at angles. Diamond blade, so wet, so no dust, and the water will cool it down. For accurate wet cuts in tiles or ceramic materials, I've got a few tiles we can try it out on, varying materials. So it looks like we get the blade and a couple of spanners. 3-year warranty, partner if you want it, PFS 800A1. So look on the back. On the side, work table with measuring scale on both sides for accurate cutting width adjustment, parallel guide with a quick lock, adjustable angle stop with measuring scale, adjustable guard for the cutting disc, powder coated steel housing with robust rubber feet for stability, integrated water tank with minimum and maximum markings, cable winder for tidy storage, carry handle as well for easy transportation. Cutting disc 180mm, table size 39.5 centimeters by 38.5, cable length 3 meters, looks like the bore size is 22.23, power consumption 800 watts. Right, let's have a look. Zoom out a bit. Whoop. And here it is. Get it out so you can see it. I'll move the camera in a sec. Oh, it's fairly light. Lighter than I thought it'd be. Massive destructions, obviously in varying languages. The disc, the guard, a bag of gubbins, and the parallel guide. That's it. Have a look at the disc. Here we are. 180mm. Got holes all the way around it as well. Must make it glide better. Or more circulation of water. Shows which direction to go. And normally you get about 7mm wear on diamond blades. The guide will go over something like that. Obviously measurements on both sides in millimeters. And the bag of gubbins, what we got? Spanners and the 2 retainers, I suppose, for this. You can see the cable storage device, 3 meters of cable. Handle on the other side for carrying it about. Nice. On and off switch. I think this is the point where I need to have a look at the instructions. Rubber feet, just spotted around this side. There's the cap, I think, for the water. There we go, a bung. Oh, hang on. Ah, is it underneath? This side we've got this angle square that's sort of tucked away in the side. I think underneath is where the bung goes. Ah, so that goes in there. So when you're finished, pull the plug, take that out, and the water runs away, I think. Turn the big lights on a minute. I think that's where the water sits in there. But, bite the bullet, Rob. Have a read of these. Right, I've had a quick scan through, relatively straightforward. Shows what everything is. All numbered. I don't know why they don't put their own numbers, though, there. So you can see what you're looking at. Switch just there, overload button. Raised Parkside. Tank there, or like a tray. If we look down there, there's like an overflow hole. It says max on there. You fill it up too much, it will just fall out. The bung sits in there. Pull out from there and the water drains away. So these must go through that hole there. Turn it round. Right. Oh yeah. The little tabs here just slide underneath. Hold in place and then tighten them to lock them in. Nice. Half on my mat and half not. That's why it's wobbling. Right, how do we put the blade in? When you take all the other languages out, there's not much instructions in here. Tells you what everything is, loads of safety stuff. So, there. How do you get to that then? There we go. Right, some screws in there. It probably said this somewhere. There we are. Jack this up a bit. So the nut and the retaining washer, that must be the right way around. 15mm. Which way up did it go? Yeah, it is that way. Oh, there's 2 screws on the top here. Do they have to come all the way out? No. It's like sprung loaded as well. In. So arriving knife and the guard. I suppose that's to get the adjustment right. That's why they're slotted. But it looks pretty much in line. Put a straight edge down it. It seems okay. Proof in the pudding and all that. We'll try it out. I think we pretty much built it. That was easy. I don't know if you saw, but the switches are at the front. The tank is at the side. Nothing on that side. That's where that sits. And cable at the back. Let's unwind it. Plug him in. Don't know how much water it takes. Probably should be using a bottle for this, really. Torch. Is that it? It looks like it's hit the maximum already. What should we start off with? Standard wall tile. It's one of these ones that tapers off around each edge. I use these in my bathroom and my kitchen. I got through quite a few of these, actually. 2 full walls in the kitchen. Oh, my battery's going. What's that? Let's look on the normal readout. 7 or 8mm at the thickest part. Start by using the parallel guide. Little knob on here. On the guard, it's sprung loaded, but there's a knob at the back here if you want to set it in a position. Let's just leave it sprung loaded for now. Should be able to just slide that underneath. Yep. Right, let's see if water comes through first. Turn it on. Oh yeah, water. It's moving as well. It's wet in the shed. Mist coming out. You see the water though, look. It's vibrating a bit. Anyway. Nice. Yeah, getting soaked. And like all this mist comes out. You see water, this is the sort of thing you want to do outside, of course. But not me, I do it in my shed. For a demo. See there, I pushed it a bit too much actually, it's a bit broken out there. Should be pushing from this side. So you can see what's happening. Floor tile here, a big one. You know what it might be, I might not have this set absolutely spot on. Right, I've adjusted that parallel now, so it's absolutely bang on both sides. That's better. Look at that. Loads better. I probably didn't get the guide set right. Floor tiles, they're about, what, 8mm as well? About 9mm? No, I haven't got any tiles that are about 34mm, which he says he can cut. But maybe I put a few together. Do this one freehand, because we're not worried about how it looks. Right, put everything together. Easy. Let me get something else. Old roofing tile. Nice. Slate. Nice. Accurate cut. Bit too big really. 45mm sandstone cobble. Ooh. In case we had something thinner, let's just see how it cuts. Dead easy. I'm now covered. My bench is covered. I need to have a clear up. Oh, let's just try the angle cut. So we can adjust this to whatever. Let's go 45 mil. Sign it off. Slide him on there. Set on both sides the same distance. Nice. And no chip outs. Right, I'm going to have a clear up. I'm in a right mess here. Everything's covered in water and tiled sludge. It was just a demo. I need to play around in it a bit more. I think if used correctly, bargain, $44.99 these were. Beast. Next. Right then, I got these Forstner drill bits. Now, these are in a selection of all sorts of specialist drill bits, including them plug-to-dowel cutters that I bought in the last video, and step drills as well, $3.99. And I'm going to use this on something I'm going to make, and we'll test them as well. Sizes, 15 mil, 20 mil, 25, 30, and 35 millimeters. 5-piece set for wood. Carbon steel drill bits. Let's have a look. There we are. So you can see the pilot piece. Centerpiece there, caked in oil, which is good. Laser etched as well, that's the 35 mil one. A step down there to put it into your drill. As I say, I'm going to make something with these, and we'll use the pillar drill, but let's give it a try with a standard drill. Block of wood. So you can see. Can't put much pressure when I've got it like that, though. That's better. Obviously, it'd be better clamped down. Does the job. Right, let's make something. This little fun project build lasts about 1.5 minutes. Why? Because that's how long the music lasts. But tell me in the comments at what point, be honest, you get it. Enjoy. And there it is. At what point did you guess, or did you guess at all? 4 candles in 4 candles. Bit of a homage to the 2 Ronnies. And if you make something like this, make sure you use the right finish. You don't want it catching fire. If you notice, I use a different piece of wood in the middle there, just as a separation point. And with 1 foot in the middle and then 2 on the outside handles. So the main handle was metal, but I decided to paint them white. Nice little fun project. It will certainly be a talking point. It'll either be, what is that, or 4 candles. The 2 Ronnies. Legends. Big little project like that covers quite a few bases. Christmas related. 2 Ronnies always out at Christmas. The candles, make it out of some old tools. I use new fork handles there. Fork handles, not 4 candles. They were new, obviously. When you're using your spade or fork or whatever, and they break, keep hold of them. Make something out of them. I didn't have any old ones, or I would have. Right, new giveaway. And after this, we'll do the results for the last giveaway. So for this giveaway, I found another t-shirt in the shed. I didn't realise I had it. Parkside one, extra large, in black. Bit dusty. I'm sure you won't mind. And of course, the sticker, tool lover. Just put I'm in the comments. Any other comment you like after it, or I'm in on its own. And I'll pick it at random in another video. I never announce it in the comments. Right, let's do the giveaway results from the last video. So as usual, I use a random comment picker off the Tinternet. And this week's winner is Tony Foy 8940. Send me an email, it's in the description below. Well done. As always, put your comments below. Anything you like, tool experiences, tools you're buying. Remember, 21st of December, there's a new tool drop at Lidl, Parkside. performance tools. And as I always say, I'm not an expert. These are just things I get up to in my shed at the weekend. But if I got anything wrong, missed anything out, whatever, stick it in the comments below. If you're new here, why don't you consider subscribing? It's free, and I appreciate every single one. Put a link on the screen now to all my other tool reviews, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Take care, and remember, keep calm and head to the shed. Cheers! See you next time on Weekend Shedhead.